while we have our goggles on and the intercooler removed, the drain for the radiator, since we replaced the water pump and we think we got a lot of the fluid out, but you just never know. I'm gonna open up the radiator here, and it is so we got this out. This piece is not supposed to, you're not supposed to turn this piece. You can tell that there's plastic tabs in here, and you're not supposed to turn this. You're supposed to turn the inner piece, and you either have to have a giant screwdriver, Phillips, or a flat that basically turns the inside while you hold this. But obviously I started turning this and it broke the inside tabs, basically making this useless. So we're gonna order this one and just replace it for a peace of mind. This is like a $10 part. It's worth the investment to replace this while the intercooler's off. And we're gonna let all of the coolant drain out here, because we are gonna refill the coolant with distilled water and BMW coolant, the blue stuff, not this green stuff that's in here. And I'm kind of glad that I'm draining this out while we're at it. If you drain the coolant like we did, make sure if you're installing a new coolant plug, make sure you do that before you put the intercooler in, because the intercooler blocks where the coolant goes, where the coolant drain plug goes. And if you see here, this is actually just the locking key, right? You see the two tabs here? That's where there's going to be a slot on the radiator, and that's where you want to fit it. And then this is the locking pin. A lot of times people unscrew this with a socket. You're actually supposed to turn the blue. The blue is the screw, okay? You hold it with this, and then you turn the blue with a big enough screwdriver, or some people use like a nickel, but you can get it off pretty easily that way. But, you know, if you're installing this, it's just a quarter turn and it locks in place, okay? Just remember that. Just gonna... There's going to be some resistance, and we're going to have to turn that a little bit. You can do this by hand. You don't need a ton of force. That's locked. Your radiator is now functioning. It's locked in place. Don't turn it anymore, or you're going to break the tabs. Just make sure it's finger tight. So here's what you really need. The blue coolant from BMW, and then some distilled water, okay? It's not pre-mixed, meaning that you need to mix it. If you live in, you know, like a four-season state like we do, and it doesn't get crazy cold, you can go 50-50. That's usually, you know, a good rule of thumb. You can go 50-50. I used to add water wetter, like red line water wetter, but I'm not doing that this time around. I don't know if it really helped or not. Everybody says it's great, but I just didn't see a huge difference. So we will skip the water wetter. So when you're mixing this, if you have a big gallon container, an empty gallon container that's clean, you can do that, or you can do it like us. And what I'm doing is basically filling a cup, a plastic cup, up to the line, and I'm gonna repeat the process again with distilled water. She thirsty? She's completely empty, so okay. And keep checking to make sure that I don't see anything yet, so that means it's still empty. Oops. And as I get closer, because I think I'm close to about a gallon, half a gallon of water and half a gallon of coolant. I don't see anything yet. Meaning that it's still thirsty. From the next one on, I'm gonna mix it, pre-mix it before I put it in. Because we have close to a perfect 50-50, and I don't wanna. Okay. Make sure you don't drink this blue stuff. Still don't see anything, and I don't see any leaks, so so far so good. Oh, okay. Now I see something. Okay. So, all in all, I took about probably a gallon and a half of coolant and distilled water. It's at the max line, which is great. We're gonna close this off. Now we're going to loosen the oil filter cap. Yep. Okay, so we will set this aside, but I definitely want to fill the oil from here for a second. We're using Castrol 0W40 synthetic. It is approved, it was approved by BMW, but I don't know. It's probably because BMW's in bed with Shell now, so I guess maybe that's why they're not really mentioning BMW on there. Just putting some oil in here, just so that it has less to travel and it gets to some of the critical parts. I'm going to close that. Okay. So, we're actually going to put some Ceratec in here. If you guys don't know Liqui Moly, obviously they're a German company. They have been around for a while, but this is a high-tech ceramic wear protection for engines. It extends service life, prevents metal-to-metal contact, less friction, reduce fuel consumptions, protects to up to 30,000 miles. I put this in at, I would say around 130, so it's probably due for another. I've heard good things. You know, I've heard good things, so we're gonna put this in there. It's like an orange, like, milkshake. Oops. just wash that with some engine oil now. Again, we're using Castrol 0W40. You can put about 7 quarts in there. I think it recommends like 6.9. A little bit more. Yeah, I think that's perfect actually. And we are looking at the bottom of the transmission, okay? And we're gonna need a 8mm hex to basically loosen the fill bolt, also the drain bolt. When you do this, always loosen the fill bolt first, because if you have a oh shit moment, if you accidentally strip this guy and you drain it without being able to open this guy, which is the fill plug, you're SOL. You can't refill your transmission, and you're kind of stuck, right? So always remove the fill plug first. Okay. It's loose and it's on there pretty tight, so just remember that. And there's a chance, even when you remove the fill plug, that this guy could leak a little bit. That's not a bad sign. There you go, see? It's leaking. Fluid doesn't look bad, but we'll see what the bottom looks like. And just remember where the fill plug is. And then, now we have it off, we're gonna loosen the drain plug. Okay? And here's the drain plug. Okay, there it is. Still very clean. I did this 2 years ago, but driving in wintertime in New Jersey, I mean, it gets below freezing, and Redline MTL, which you know, it was recommended as, you know, replacement for this car, but I just didn't like the transmission feel in the cold. So now we're using MOS anti-friction gear oil. Oh, it's starting to drip out. Now I got that in there. We are gonna stick this guy. Let me wipe it down one more time. I wiped this down, but I don't want any debris getting in there. So let me wipe it down one more time. Okay. Where's the drain plug? Oh, there it is. Okay. And you know it's full when it's gonna consistently drip out, but I don't think we're there yet. Okay, we're gonna go with the second one, and gear oil just stinks like you wouldn't believe. Okay, second bottle. Okay, that was good. And there we go. That's it. Super simple. And you have brand new fluid in your transmission. If you have high mileage like my car, obviously you want to kind of take care of it. We replaced the bushing, the transmission bushing, transmission mount bushing, as well as the fluid. Everything's locked up, closed, and we're ready to put on the under panel.